Mega Evolution. For those of you out of the loop, it's a new mechanic introduced in Pokemon X and Y that allows certain Pokemon to go Super Saiyan in the middle of battle. Along with new and better stats, Mega Evolved Pokemon can even gain new types and abilities that they will lose once they revert back to normal at the end of a battle. With the current count for Pokemon that can Mega Evolve sitting in a measly 26 for a total of 28 forms, or 30 if you count the as of yet unreleased Latios and Latias Mega Evolutions, we are sure to see more in the coming years from Game Freak, especially with the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire being announced just recently. As of yet, there's still no 5th or 6th generation Mega Evolutions, but that was merely because Game Freak wanted to bring attention back to the earlier generations of the franchise, and as such, they won't play a role in this list. Now remember, this is a completely subjective list, and if you disagree, just remember, it's only reflecting my personal opinion, so feel free to add your own choices down in the comments below. I won't hurt you, I promise I don't bite. So without any further ado, the top 11 Pokemon that need Mega Evolutions because 10 is too mainstream. Number 11. Vanilluxe. Hold your tomatoes, folks, let me explain, I know what I'm doing. Vanilluxe is arguably the most hated Pokemon in existence. It almost single-handedly made everyone lose faith in Game Freak during Generation 5. It's freaking ice cream, not a Pokemon. That is, until you look at its Pokedex entry. The Snowstorm Pokemon. Yes, it's meant to look like ice cream, but why should that be a bad thing? Instead of just giving a snowflake a face, Crignal! Oh, I'm sorry, I think I have some sort of cold. Game Freak was clever enough to disguise a generic idea as a really unique Pokemon. You're never gonna see McFlurry or Oreo shake Pokemon again. Sure, it may not have gotten the best reaction, but unless you're a Gen 1er, you can hopefully look past its tasty shell and find a reasonable Pokemon deserving of a Mega Evolution. With a respectable bulk, Vanilluxe really only misses a good moveset and typing from making it an amazing Pokemon. Mega Evolution might not be able to fix those issues, but with even better stats, Vanilluxe might get a chance to overcome the odds and become a force to be reckoned with. And seriously, the reactions you'd get by wiping the floor with your opponent using an ice cream would be amazing. Mega Vanilluxe may be more a love letter to the open-minded Pokemon players than an actual Mega Evolution, but that's why it takes number 11 on this list. Number 10. Beheeyem. Honestly, I couldn't say what it is I like about Beheeyem. It's not particularly good or cool, and its Pokedex entries stop being interesting when you take Deoxys into account. Overall, Beheeyem is kinda bland. From mediocre stats to single typing to a run-of-the-mill ability, it needs a Mega Evolution not because of what it has, but what it lacks. Remember when you were a kid and aliens were just the darndest thing ever? Aliens are cool. Deoxys is cool. So why isn't Beheeyem cool? Imagine a kid who grew up with Unova instead of Kanto, Johto, or Hoenn. How do you think they feel when their generation has to deal with the crappy alien? This is a right that needs to be wronged, and Beheeyem definitely has the potential to be cool and viable. It just isn't. Number 9. Barbaracle! One of Kalos's stranger newcomers, Barbaracle's got it where it counts. Guts and a good moveset. It's too bad it got what is possibly one of the worst typings in Pokemon. I can't be the only one who fell in love with this thing when the first X and Y leaks came out. I remember sitting open-mouthed on Tumblr with a blurry picture of this monster on my screen and saying to myself, Kalos is legit. The response was astounding. People either loved it with a passion or were ready to seppuku if it was real. Either way, it was a big step up from Binacle. It had eyes on its hands and hands on its faces. If there's one thing cooler than Cyclopses, it's Cyclopses on hands. This thing honestly looked like it could have come out of Shadow of the Colossus or something. It was what Pokemon needs to be. It's like that kind of crazy offbeat thing that got the kids of the 90s playing Red and Blue. To me, Barbaracle feels really retro. It's like a love letter to the kids of Kanto. If your Gengars and Alakazams are getting Mega Evolutions, Mega Barbaracle really wouldn't feel all that out of place. And someone, please, fix that thing's typing. Number 8. Smeargle. When it comes to setup, Smeargle is your guy. It has by far the biggest move pool of any Pokemon, thanks to Sketch. But in conjunction with its stats, most Smeargles are gonna be delegated to getting up rocks, Spore, and similar shenanigans. Mega Evolutions are all about making Pokemon better at what they already do. But how interesting would it be to let a Mega Evolution completely change how a Pokemon is used? When you see your opponent's team and you see a Smeargle, You already know why it's there. But imagine this. It Mega Evolves, gets a big boost in attacking stats and speed, and gets the ability Protean. That's a right sweeper right there. Nobody in their right mind would use a Mega Smeargle for setup, with such a variety of amazing moves to get stab bonus on. It might seem strange, but it sure as hell would be fun, and an interesting change to the competitive scene. Number 7. Parasect. Parasect is one of those Pokemon that looks fine and dandy until you read into it. And then you realize its existence disturbs you to the core of your being. Seriously, Parasect is freaky. Parasect probably isn't at the top of anyone's favorite Pokemon list, and when the Gen 1ers come about spouting how Kanto is the only decent region, Parasect kind of fails to ever be mentioned. But it's far from bad. Anyone who has legitimately used a Parasect knows how cool it really is. Under that big brain-eating mushroom is a beast of a Pokemon in both type and moveset, with stats, again, being the main drawback. With dry skin, this grass bug type is honestly a great support, and Spore is a move most other grass types can only dream of having. Parasect is cool because it's just so weird, so doubling the creepiness factor a la Mega Bayonet would really give Parasect the upper hand it's deserved since Gen 1. Number 6. Flygon! Real talk real quick. 1. Flygon is a dragon. 2. Flygon is in the underused tier. Those two statements, together, about the same Pokemon, do not compute. Flygon is one of the few dragon Pokemon that isn't a pseudo-legendary, and yet it is arguably one of the coolest. With the addition of fairies to the competitive scene, there is literally no chance for Flygon to hold its own anymore. And what a waste that is. A ground type with Levitate. That there is some good old-fashioned ingenuity. Even if it is kind of stupid when you think about it, but you know, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're talking about why Flygon is awesome. From the time you caught that Trapinch in the desert zone, to the time you painstakingly got it to level 45, you loved the hell out of that thing. Don't lie about it, you know you did. The Flygon line is simply spectacular, even for dragons. Even if Flygon itself might be a little bit tubby, that's nothing a few push-ups or a Mega Evolution can't fix. Turn Puff the Magic Desert Spirit into a veritable threat. I assure you, nobody would be against it. Huh? Oh, wait, what? What? Oh, right, this is the internet. Scratch that. Nobody with a lick of good sense will be against it. Just like Barbaracle. Flygon is one of those Pokemon that just works, no matter what. No dragon should have to sit in the shadows of an Aromatisse. Number 5. Chandelure. Chandelure is the definition of ominous. Its typing, its Pokedex entries, its design, they are all just the right amount of freaky. Its special attack, on the other hand, is a whole different kind of scary. Mega Evolution should be about making bad Pokemon better, but between Charizard and Mewtwo, it's probably okay to have an already great Pokemon get overpowered once in a while. And let's be honest, Mega Chandelure would look so good. The creepy, empty stare, and ornate design is already so disturbing that by doing a basic Mega revamp and just adding spikes and flames everywhere, it would just get better. Chandelure just has one of those designs that gets better the more intricate you get. And I, for one, would love to see that shit in battle. You would be wrecking souls with that chandelier, you know what I'm saying, the thing on your ceiling. Except it's bigger and better, it's got more fire, and it looks scarier. It's up in your children, eating them up, cause that's what Mega Chandelure is all about. Number 4. Ledian. This list has a lot of bug types. Why, you ask? Because the bug type is unfortunately unappreciated, and Ledian is a prime example of this. Let's face it, Ledian is crap. It's called the 5-star Pokemon, but it gets 0 stars. Isn't this thing supposed to be based on superheroes or something? Is there some deeper message Ledian delivers, like superheroes always suck or something? Because if there isn't, then give this man a Mega Evolution. I'm serious. It's got the looks. Ledian would be a badass if it wasn't such garbage. Its typing may be a lost cause, but pretty much everything else about this Pokemon could be improved. The only reason it takes slot number 4 and not higher is because Ledian's terrible streak has made it less than popular. I mean, you don't go around using this thing competitively because it sucks really bad. And when things suck, you usually don't use them. It's like a vacuum cleaner. It's like a black hole, okay? If there was a black hole Pokemon, it would probably evolve from Ledian. Because this thing is garbage. Or it sucks. I'm mixing metaphors, you know what I'm trying to say. Number 3, Metagross. I honestly don't think I need to explain this one. Like literally, of all the pseudo-legendary Pokemon that like ever existed that needs a Mega Evolution, Metagross is like it needs it more than anything. Not because it isn't a dragon, not because it's weaker than everyone else, but because it's freaking Metagross. There's nothing that screams epic more than a sentient supercomputer that can fly and also take a 747 to the face and not flinch. Like, not even Salamence, and I love Salamence. I'm serious, you know I love Salamence. There would be nothing cooler than a Metagross that is just is Metagross, but even better. I mean, tell me that's not like, if you don't have a boner right now, you're not homosexual or straight. It has nothing to do with whether or not you are sexually attracted to the idea of Mega Metagross. Pretty much has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. So that's that. Number 2, Cacturne. Cacturne is just silly. It's one of the more forgettable monsters during your journey across Hoenn. But that derpy little cactus would evolve into a crazy mofo if you gave it the time of the day. It would evolve into the desert ruffian known as Cacturne. And you would love it. That is until you realized how terrible it was. It's a real shame when something with such cool design and mythos as Cacturne ends up being unusable. Its high attack stats and part dark typing could have made Cacturne something great. But it got the short end of the stick with speed. Just turn its attacks up to 11 and tack on speed boost as well as a fancy new hat or maybe a Cactux. A Cactus Tux, get it? And you've got yourself one hell of a Pokemon. It goes around at night and follows people, and when they fall on the ground because they're tired and they hungry and they sleepy and they want to drink because they thirsty mofos, they gang up on you and they kill you. But now just imagine that, but like with sombreros and tuxedos and a higher attack stat. And you would just have something that would just be unstoppable. I don't need to say anything else, because if you are not on board, you deserve to die. Seriously, it's Cacturne. It's awesome. Number 1, Beedrill. There's officially nobody in the world that dislikes Beedrill. It just isn't possible. There is no Pokemon that has a usability to badassery ratio closer to 0 than Beedrill. Back when you first started your journey with Oaksword still fresh in your mind, you were catching anything and everything you saw. Before long, that weird Weedle or Kakuna you found would have evolved into Beedrill. And damn if it wasn't the coolest looking thing you'd ever seen! No, unless you were really young, or Egoraptor, you would have realized that it's utter trash, and unwillingly, against your instincts, dropped the poor bee into a PC box never to be removed again. Such has always been Beedrill's fate. And yet, a Mega Evolution could solve this so easily. If you just stick with your crappy badass bee, you can get an item that makes it cooler, stronger, and faster. Every Pokemon trainer must make the choice between design and power when constructing a team. Beedrill is so horrible that no matter how awesome it looks, however, it has no chance of ever being on a final team, no matter how nostalgic one feels. If Mega Beedrill were released, and it did everything that a Mega Form should, making it cooler and better, I assure you it would be the talk of the town. Because Beedrill is the kind of Pokemon that is impossible to dislike. So if you made it better, it'd be good. Game Freak, I know you're not listening to this because I'm just talking to myself right now into a microphone. So I know you're not listening to this. But you are, in my mind. And in my mind, you need to make Mega Beedrill right now. Do it. Do it. Koji Kondo, you know, Shigeru, my emotes, whoever you're doing it right now, do it right now. Mega Beedrill. Let's go. Let's go. Omega Sapphire and Alpha Ruby, Chaos Emerald. Let's go. Let's right now. Do it. And Anyway, that's enough out of me today. I take way longer on top 10s than I should, so I'm just gonna shut up now. If you think I really left a mega viable Pokemon out, or just think something or anything on my list was complete crap, then tell me in the comments. I don't do much of these, so if you want to see more videos of this type on the channel, then show me by leaving a like and sharing it with your friends. We can see more of these kinds of videos in the future, because I know I'm kind of enjoying it. You know, it's okay, it's not bad. So if you enjoy it too, then just like the video and everybody wins. But if you don't like the video, then only you win. I lose. Do you really want me to lose? Is that how this relationship's gonna work? You just want me to lose all the time? You're a jerk. I'll have you know. Anyways, I'm Technoboy200. I'm signing out. And remember... Crap, I forgot.